Hey guys, Tim from Gaming, and I'm here to show you Endless Space for Video Mondaily, and it is created by Amplitude Studios. So I'm just going to dive right in, show you a little bit about the game. It's in beta form at the moment. Having said that, it's a very strong beta, so it's very high quality, good production standards already. I've hardly seen any bugs. It's very good quality at the moment. So um, you can safely assume that most of what you see here is what will be in the final product. You can get access to this beta by pre-ordering the game, and you can do that from Steam. I think it's going to be £20, but don't quote me on that. So here we are. I've started playing this game quite recently, and I've sunk in maybe 2 or 3 hours into this scenario. So I am the Green Nation, which you can see around here, and I am a science devil nation. So I'm trying to build up science, and that's my kind of aim. And my speciality as my race. These other guys, I'm not sure what their specialities are, but the races have military speciality, diplomacy, and exploration. Those are the other kind of ones that you can do. So what this really is about is a kind of like a strategy game. Well, it's a 4X game, so um, it has a lot of elements which aren't really fleshed out. For example, in this game, the combat is not fleshed out. So it's basically who has the most strength. If you look down here, you can see down here the strength of this fleet that I have, 528. So if I was to fight another fleet, it would basically be who has the most damage. There is a small element of tactical picking, it's just a random event. I might show you that a bit later, but the combat is probably the weakest side of this game. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's not engaging, that's for sure. I would say it's maybe slightly boring. But this is all about exploration, research, and expansion, really. And so I'll show you the tech tree. So since I'm a science nation, this is the full tech tree. As you can see, it has different routes. So there's this applied sciences tree over here, the warfare tree up here, diplomacy here, and I think this is expansion and exploration over here. So I'm kind of researching heavily into the science route, which gives me a lot of bonuses to science, which means I can unlock other routes a lot quicker. It can also mean that I have bonuses to certain things, like certain upgrades that I can apply to my ships, etc, etc, and upgrades to production and everything. So I'm kind of researching down this route. It's quite a complex tree, I think, and I think there is strategy involved on what you should research. You do need to research, as you've noticed. I've kind of researched a bit. The blue dots are what I've researched. I've researched quite a bit in other trees as well, because I think it's quite important. You can't just specialise in one tree. It's important for you to be able to get other trees, and especially as the science nation, I can afford to do that because I have enough points that researching these other trees doesn't take that long. So yeah, that's the science tree. Just give you a couple of examples. So if you research this here, the N-way fusion, it allows you to discover a resource, and this resource, if you have enough of it around, distributed across your planets, it will provide a bonus to your whole nation. Another one here, this one, arid epigenics. It will allow you to colonize arid planets, which you may not have been able to colonize before. So, onto the star map system. Quite simple. You have jumps, so your ships can jump along these lines, and they have certain move speed, etc., which you can upgrade. So you jump specifically along these lines, These squiggly lines here are wormholes, so you need special research to be able to jump them, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I'll go into one of these planets. So each of these, you see these circles here, these blue dots, these are the number of planets that are within each star system. So here, this one is my starting one. It has 4 planets, and this is my first planet I started with over here, and I have another planet here that I can colonize. I've researched that ability. And these two, I've not researched the ability to colonize gas giants, so I haven't done that. But yes, so here is your population. As that increases, you gain more production over here. So this production here is what your planets produce, and you can buy upgrades, etc. Industry is how long it takes to build something, just turns wise. Dust here, this is kind of your money. So you need this is your income, and when you build upgrades, it will cost dust. So not a flat cost of dust, but a kind of reduction of your income. Science, obviously, the more science you have, the less turns it takes to research objects. And food, which I think is how quickly your population grows. So this planet here, it's not building anything, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to colonize this planet. So I can go into this planet and I can click colonize desert. So now it's going to take 4 turns to colonize this desert, and you can buy it. You can buy the planet, instant colonization with dust, so I'm just going to do that now. And that means it will only cost 1 turn, and it will cost, yeah, so then that will colonize the next turn. So each planet has its own individual increase, so output, sorry, I should say, and these all stack up to the system's output. So each planet also, it has different, you know, I said arid and Terran, and so this, for example, is Terran. It increases, there's more food, there's more dust production, as you can see, and there's different kind of things associated with that. And there's also exploitations. So every planet that you colonize, you can choose 1 exploitation to do at a time, and this will increase the number of resources produced by that planet, depending on, and it varies depending on what type of planet it is. So, for example, lava, there's no point in putting the alien grafting on it, because you will. Well, there is a point, because you still get +2 food per person on that planet, but you would be much better to get planetary exploitation, which gives a +3 to the production on lava and +3 to the production per person. So it's a lot more efficient to do that. Yes, so also, as I will show you here, each planet can have an anomaly, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, adding, minusing outputs, and a special resource. So as I showed you before, the science, it had in science tree, sorry, I've upgraded my science to be able to discover antimatter, and this antimatter, if you have enough of it, if you have 4 blocks of antimatter, we'll say, you get +2 science per person on the planet. So that's obviously useful as a science nation. So I'll go out here, I'll show you another solar system. So this is a much larger one. I've colonized 4 of the 6 planets, and you can see a lot of different, they all have a different attributes to them. So this anomaly here increases the number of dust and science produced, and the resource increases the number of dust produced in the whole of my empire by 8%. So, you know, that's a useful resource to have, and I'm glad I have this planet. So that's the kind of thing that you look for when you want to colonize planets, because you can colonize everything, but it'll take a lot of time. So you need to strategize and say, oh well, this will be more useful for me at the moment, so I'm going to colonize this planet first. And there's a kind of strategy to do with that. There's another one here. This is my largest economy, basically, and I produce a lot of industry here, which means that I can produce, well, at the moment I'm producing science from my industry, but if there was to be a war, I could produce a ton of ships from this solar system really quickly, because I have a lot of production. I can build up an army, send it out there if there's a problem. So yes, when you're building upgrades like over here, they apply to the whole star system. So you want to, for here, you've got, I know I've got lava, I've got arid, desert, arctic. So say I had an upgrade that said this upgrade, well, I don't know, say it's arable farming. Okay, I just made that up, but and it increases the number of food production on arid planets. Right, that would be useful because I have 3 arid planets here, so I would want to do that because it would increase my food production, allow production increase, population increase, because as you can see, these are not very heavily populated, only 1 population on almost all of the planets. So yeah, these upgrades are for the whole star system. Then you have a quite interesting mechanic of your heroes. So I'll go into the hero screen here. Heroes, basically you can have, I think, I'm not entirely quite sure how this works, I'm still working it out, but I think you can have 3 heroes at a time, and they each level up individually, and you can, every time they level up, you have a choice of an ability that you choose for them. So this guy, I've made him as a manager, so I can assign him to a star system, and he greatly increases the output of that star system. So as you can see on the side here, he's got some defense, which is natural for all heroes, and then I've upgraded him so he increases the production of everything on the star system and increases happiness, because happiness is important. If your planets aren't happy, they go on strike and you lose production. As a contrast, this is my other hero, or one of my other heroes, which I have upgraded for fleet, for combat. So he has increases on damage to increase, how my ships operate. He has increase in, military power. So I assign him to one of my fleets, and as he does battle, he will level up and become better. So yes, that's the kind of general idea. I'll just move one of these fleets. See where my main fleet is. My main fleet is over here actually, because these guys have made a few moves, and that's not too good. So I don't think I can. This circle round here is your influence. So normally everyone is in a state of Cold War, and that means that they can attack your ships and you can attack theirs without consequence really, as long as it's not in one of these spheres of influence. So if one of my ships heads into this guy's sphere of influence, it's an act of war, and they will retaliate and I will retaliate. Whereas if it's, out here in one of these unoccupied planets, or even here where I've just got an outpost but it's not got a sphere of influence, it's fair game, and it's not really governed by any law or anything. So I don't really want to invade here because that could be a problem with causing them to attack me, and I don't really want to do that as a science nation. I'm kind of happy to just build up my science and research. The kind of final interesting mechanic about the game, I would say, is the hangar. So that I said that the military combat wasn't very good, and it isn't really. It's quite boring. But the production of ships is quite interesting. So if I go to the research quickly, see all these blocks. These are all modules. So when you research into the military tree, you unlock these modules. And if we go to the hangar here, you have your ships. You have designs of your ships. You unlock different designs as well within the tree, and you can add modules onto these ships depending on what you want. So if you want a ship that's heavily armoured, you can add some protective plating, you can add some deflection, maybe some shield if you've unlocked that, and then you want some damage, so you add in a few machine guns. Perhaps you want to increase the speed for some manoeuvrability to be able to get about, and you want to add some repair modules, so you stick on some advanced repair modules to be able to repair itself quicker once it's been in combat. I'll just add a few more bits of armor, a few more weapons, and you've kind of created what, you know, your own kind of design of ship. So this ship, it tells you how much it costs, tells you its military power and its health, and you can name it. So I will name it Destroyer. Create. So now, if I leave here and I go to one of my planets, which is not currently building anything, Gano over here, and I go to ship, here, my destroyer is here, and I have the ability to build it. So it'll take 3 turns to build my destroyer, and you know, it'll produce, and it'll be so that's quite a good mechanic, I think, actually. So you can customize your own ships to how you really want them. It's also useful because to be able to colonize other planets, you need special ships with supply somethings on them, like pods, colonization pods, to be able to colonize. So you could, for example, get upgrades for your ships that allow more colonizations, or allow your colonization ships to move faster so they can get to where you want to colonize quicker before they're intercepted, or whatever. So that's quite a good mechanic. Diplomacy, not really looked into it very much. I'm not really quite sure. I've not. I think this guy. Oh, what's happening? Sorry, messed up there. You can say that I'm in peace with this man, and these two I'm in Cold War with. So I can enter communications, and I don't really have much options because you actually have to research to be able to do diplomacy. So I could offer them a peace, and they would absolutely decline it. And I could declare war, and that wouldn't be good either. So yeah, diplomacy, I'm not really quite sure how it works. I think it would be better on online games, obviously. I think diplomacy is designed for multiplayer, and when you're with AI, it can be interesting, but it's not designed for that. It's really designed for multiplayer. So I want to kind of show you some combat here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. I'm just going to quickly rush through these turns. I'm not going to save, and try and get some combat on the go, just to kind of give you an idea, because even though it's not particularly interesting, it's quite nice to look at. The graphics are really good, and oh no, there we go, combat. Okay, manual. So here we're gonna fight these United Empire fleet. We have slightly less of the attack damage, so it's probably, well, we'll take casualties, that's for sure. So in combat, I'm not 100% sure here. I haven't played the game that long, but you have to choose actions in 3 stages: long range, medium range, and short range. So for long range, you choose these kind of cards. Oh bollocks! There seems to be a quick time thing here. On the offense, man! On the offense! Oh bollocks! Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm not really quite sure what's happening. That's the enemy ships for definite. These are mine. Oh, they're shooting at it. Yep, he looks like he's going down. He's on fire. He's dead. Okay, that's not good. So I messed up by not pressing an action there, which kind of put me at a bit of a disadvantage. Okay, I don't know really why I failed there, but he appears to be doing more damage to me. So I'm not, these cards, it just seems random what you pick. It seems like it could be chance whether you pick one that counters the enemy or not. So I'm not sure there's much tactics in that, and I think it's not a great system. But as you can see, it's good to look at. So there, I've done tactics, he's done engineering, and somehow he gets a cross and I get a plus. Not really sure why. But yeah, firing on my ships, and I was defeated. I think I may have lost all of my ships there, so that wasn't the best plan. But no worries. Just to give you an idea of what's happening there, let's see what the report says. Yeah, we lost 6 ships, and we didn't kill any of theirs. So maybe I should have researched into the military tree. At the moment, all I did was just science, really, and just hold the line. But yeah, this is Endless Space. My opinions on it, I quite like it. I think it's quite a good game. It's not meant to be, I don't know, it's not meant to be like an RTS. It's not an RTS. It's more like Civilization, where you're moving pawns about and trying to, have a kind of grander strategy. And it's very in depth in terms of research and in terms of building your ships and everything, which is quite good. So I think it's certainly one to look out for. It might not be your cup of tea. It could be quite slow, but it's polished really well. Like, it's so crisp and the interface is so good. It's so clean and everything is really efficient. So everything where you want it to be is there. It's good in terms of lots of numbers and number crunching. If you like that type of thing where you're trying to get the most efficient kind of systems out, and that's really good. But the combat, again, as I said, can be a bit weak. I'd really recommend picking it up though. Trying out the beta. You have to pre-order it to get on, obviously, but I enjoy it. So yeah, I think you should certainly think about it. So yeah, that's me, Video Mon Daily. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out at http://MMgaming.net. The link is down below for quicker access if you want. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks very much for watching.